What's going on, guys? Kyle with Ocean State Merchants back with another video. So bring you guys through what sold over the weekend. We're also in the process of trying to purchase 2 storage units here. I got one facility in a town pretty close to me. My wife actually works in this town, probably about a 20-minute drive. They're down to 17 minutes left. So with any luck, by the end of the recording this video, I'll be winning some auctions, and hopefully I'll be showing you guys that off soon. First auction's up to $390, which is super steep for this. Maybe I'll throw in some pictures if I can. But there is some pretty cool things in the back. You can see like really old Florida Marlins hat, and then it looks like maybe like a AAA team hat, so vintage style there. Got like a Stetson kind of hat thing, and then the other thing you can see is there's a wrestling ring in there. So we'll see if I end up winning that one. I think $390. It's only a 5x5 unit. It also does say toys in like the description. So, and you can see there's like an older car. So I don't know. It might be worth taking a real gamble on. I was really going to 350. That was my max. I ended up going to 380 just to see if like I could, you know, knock this other person out and just get them to stop bidding. But the second I put my bid in, they bid again. It was originally at like 120. I bumped it up to like 280. And then they instantly outbid me up to 300. So then I put up to 380, seeing if they would just kind of stop at maybe that 350 mark. But they're still going. So we'll see. Then there's a second unit that is a 10x10. And that one is, the pictures are horrible. You can only see in the very front. There's nothing super exciting in that one. But there is enough stuff to kind of make it worth my while. There's plenty of boxes, and it's only up to $70 right now. So I have a bid of like 120, I think is my max on that. I'll probably up that one. I'd probably go up to like 250-ish just by sheer volume. There was some okay stuff, nothing that like screams like, you know, maybe home runs in it. So we'll see. I'm hoping that I'm gonna put one last second bid on the first unit, the 5x5 with some action figures and stuff in there, to have that one go a little bit longer. And if I win the other one for like $70, maybe I'll take the risk on this one. We'll see. But I want to bring you guys through everything that I sold over the weekend. It was a fairly okay sales week, nothing insane, but you know, sold enough to make things really worth my time. We also got back onto Facebook Marketplace, so I got one Facebook Marketplace deal here, and I was very excited to have that happen just because I haven't had any for a little while. So for Facebook Marketplace, I'll pop this up. Sold these 3 wood. All right, so my alarm went off, so cut the video off. Just reminded me of the storage units auctions. So. But yeah, so these 3 wooden figures to a girl that I've actually sold other wooden figures to, and a safari print purse or bag, like a little travel bag. Huge collector in it. She apparently just bought a bunch of plants, she was saying. So looking for safari things just to kind of flip to her at this point. Is she said pretty much keep them coming. So if I see something cheap enough, easy enough, I'll just send her a picture and hopefully just sell it directly to her. But all 3 of those for $25. Happy to see that moving. Had this little trinket dish. This was a 20% off sale. Sold for $16, but the shipping on this was extreme. All in, they were into $29.69. That includes like tax, stuff like that. But I think the shipping alone on it was like $12, and I ended up shipping it. It was under £1. It was like a solid brass item, so I thought it was gonna be a little bit more. I think my wife also listed that, so probably definitely too high on the shipping, but made a little bit of money on the shipping. So this Cleveland 588 iron set. So I had this up for $300. It was at $299.99 and wasn't selling. I was kind of surprised that it didn't sell as fast as it did. I got an offer for $139 because I put offers on all my stuff. I'm willing to take reasonable offers. I'm not looking to do anything insane, but this was a $139 offer. I went back in and checked the comps, and there were a lot of comps at that 130 to 150 mark. Probably for this condition it was in, I probably could have gotten close to that 150, maybe 175 mark. Just based off sales, but I obviously miscomped this pretty badly. Some of the newer sets were going for that, but I know golf stuff well enough where I shouldn't have had that issue. But that's one reason why I like to have the offers on there. You know, this person wasn't really even looking for a screaming deal. They were kind of just looking for at, I think, what was a reasonable price. So got that complete set, 5 iron through pitching wedge, and included a sand wedge for the $139 plus. I charge, what is it, $20 I think it is, or $15? I think $20 for shipping on my sets, and no, $15 on my sets. And this one was shipped for I think $12, so fit right into that perfect mold there. Sold this Brutus WWE action figure. That's sold for $7 plus shipping. Once again, just chipping away at those WWE figures. Wasn't my best buy here, but slowly making progress. Had another comic book sale as well. This was $25. I had this up for $28 and change. I think it's $28.99. Got offered for $25. I think I actually got an offer for $20 on this and met at $25. I countered it at $25 just because it was an item I listed like 2 days before. So got like a $4 discount. I got it moving. Happy to see that moving. These Boy Scout patches. This is just a quality unit. I have a bunch of them from the early 2000s, and they only have for like $1.25, but I have hundreds of these patches. Occasionally people come in and grab a couple years, or I've had people come in and get multiple patches. Easy list, and I'm not making much money on it, but I'm into them for pretty much nothing. I think I bought the whole patch lot for $10, and there was well over, I think it was close to like 300 patches, well over 300 patches there. Tons of these 2005, like early 2000s small like unit patches, but there were some like jamboree patches, you know, camping patches, stuff that had a little bit more depth, have a little bit higher of a selling rate. Nothing crazy, obviously better than $1.25, but like $5, $6, stuff like that. So made my money, and then plenty on that, and every time it sells, I'm happy to see it go. I'll have them forever, but continuing to chip away. I had this game used bat. This was one of the first deals I ever did that got me into reselling. So this game used bat is beat up. I have no idea who signed it. There's a chip in the autograph, and there's also like a large portion of the handle was missing. I think that was from it breaking. But I made a huge purchase. It was the first big purchase I did. I think it's like $5,100, and I bought 3 truckloads of game used memorabilia, autograph stuff. This person was an autograph seeker and had so much stuff. Eventually he just sold it. He was looking for a down payment on a house, and I was able to come scoop that up. I made close to $15,000 on that deal, and that's right up my alley. I love sports stuff. It was kind of fun doing the thrill of the hunt, trying to figure out whose autographs was whose. And then, you know, went to the internet for a lot of them, put them out there just to get people helping me with the ones I couldn't figure out. And even still now, there's a bunch of bats I haven't figured out. I put them on eBay, and I'll often get messages of people being like, hey, this is so-and-so, and I'll just change the title. I usually don't change them out. There have been some people that got screaming good deals. I sold one Roger Clemens bat before. I figured I would pick up like a Roger Clemens autograph, but didn't. Someone was pumped to have that in their collection. Hey, they got it for a screaming deal. I got rid of it. I'm well into the profit on that deal. Had I known Roger Clemens bat, I probably would have kept it for myself. I did keep only one bat. That's a David Price bat. I'm not a huge David Price fan. I'm a Red Sox fan. He was on the Red Sox, but it's a USA bat. So just kind of like, I like the collegiate aspect, the Team USA stuff. And it was signed by all the teammates as well. He was just one of the signers on it. So one of the few things I keep in my collection. And I only kept like a couple pieces from that just because he had so much. It'd be insane to keep. I think I kept like 2 autographed baseballs in that bat. Next thing we sold, Polo Cologne. So this was my huge cologne buyout. There were a couple duds that weren't worth like $100 to $300. Using the word dud very loosely here, but that sold for $20 plus shipping on that. Obviously Nike golf stuff still sells pretty well because Nike is no longer making golf stuff. So got this club head cover. I put it up for $15. Someone sent me an offer for, I think it was like $5, which was really low. I think I submitted a counter at 10 and they said at 8, and I just wanted to see it gone. Happy to move it. It's not golf season right now. People aren't super interested in golf, although I've sold a club set. I've actually sold 2 clubs in the last week as well. So I think people might be getting some replacements for stuff they lost over the year, but I'm okay with that sale, moving it, because I do think we're pretty much getting out of that golf season. Florida, you know, southern states might be going through it, but they're starting to get into that area where they might not be going out as much. So any golf stuff moving, I'm okay with. Sold these 3 action figures. So you got, let's see, Kevin Nash, Sting, and Bruiser with the ladder. All those combined $16.97 plus shipping on that. I want to be at $3.50 an action figure, so which will give me a couple $100 in profit. So, you know, averaging $5 per. Very happy to see that one sold. Arizona State Sun Devils, $8. This has the little Nike center swoosh right in the middle there. $8. I had it up for 12, offer for 8, sold, came out of a storage unit, so I'm pretty much into it for nothing. These 4 comics books, or 5, I guess, because there's a lot of 2, sold for $52.96 plus shipping on that. Person came in and bought a bunch of individuals all at a time, and then was able to combine them before they made payment. So made it a little bit easier, didn't have to track anything down. But $52.96 on that lot. Gujitsu, this came from, as I said, I think on the last video where I sold a loose one. On card, $36. This took her a while to sell. I put it at the 20% sale. Surprised at how long this one took, just because of it being on card. The ones on card pretty much moved instantly, except for this one. So I must have been up a little bit high, but this sale was happening for a little while before it even sold as well. So probably got top of the market for that figure, but very happy with that one. That was a storage unit find as well. And that's kind of how I learned about them. So it was a nice little find and learn. I started testing up some of my video game stuff here. So I found these two Xbox One controllers, or both Xbox One controllers. I have an Xbox One, so finally decided to test it. I also tested a PS3, was missing one cord, so ordered that. That came in. I'm going to be testing that today to get that up. So probably my next What Sold video, you'll see that. And I have an Xbox One, or an Xbox 360 as well, where I am ordering a power cord, waiting for that to come in, and have another Xbox 360, different power cord, unfortunately. So I couldn't test the other one, but just got that complete, and that'll be tested and up. So you'll probably see that. But Xbox One, this one had no battery cover. I knew I listed it low. $11.99, sold pretty much instantly, plus $5 shipping. We got a PS3 camera, sold for $5. Got an offer. I had that up for $9. Got an offer for $5. Just took it. I've had it for way too long. So generally, I try not to go 50% on my offers. Try to keep it no more than 25%. Only for the sheer fact that I try to think, like, if I were just to send an offer to someone, what would a reasonable offer be based off the price I have it listed at? I will go in and double check comps, like the golf clubs were more than half off. Double check it. But you know, with a $9 item, if it's much lower than $5, I'm not going to do much more anyways. And then the third video game accessory we sold was another Xbox One controller. This one was a little bit better condition, newer model, and was complete, tested working, $23.99. That took a day to sell, so it was right in the right wheelhouse for that. $5 shipping on that. I think I lost a little bit of shipping because that one went, I think, across country for me, but to get it moving, I mean, that's pretty much, especially with those, that's at the price it's gonna be at. I got an offer on this G.I. Joe boat. So this is the Moray. Definitely incomplete, tons of little pieces on this. I was missing a lot of it. So this ended up selling for $45, took an offer. I had it up at $59.99, $15 off. I probably would have normally offered $10, but an extra $5. It's sold, it's gone. I've had it way too long. I'm into each one of these pieces for about $12 each. So some of them I needed to make a little bit extra. There were a couple $100 items. There were plenty of like 10 to 15 where, you know, I'm at that break even, maybe losing a little bit. So these bigger ones I wanted to try to really hold and get the value that they have. It's hard with the incomplete parts because you see one incomplete part and one part might be more valuable than the other. I'm not a huge G.I. Joe person, so I don't know every single one, but I'm happy to see those go. Sold Dome Book 2. So this is a large book. I think it was like 22 inches tall. So it was very big. It was all paper. And this was about cults, I think. It was like a cult book back in 1972. When I did a little bit of research on it, kind of figured out I think it's about a cult that must have lived in a dome in the woods. But sold that for $24. Those have some really good value. Slow selling, but I think I had it up for $30. Got an offer for the $24. Sold it. It wasn't in the best condition. It had some pretty beatness to it and a little bit of smell, which I did indicate in my listing. So things that are definitely holding it back, but if it's in good condition, you're looking at probably like $40, $50, I believe, on that book. It's been a while since I comped it, but definitely one to look out for if you happen to run into it. Obviously, those weird kind of books are the things you're looking for. Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I picked this up for $1 at a yard sale this year. Surprised it didn't sell. Cute little puppies. Plays Take Me Out to the Ball Game. San Francisco Music Box Company. Worked perfectly. I had it up for $12, $11.99. Person offered me $10, sold. Move that along. Got a Hallmark ornament. I had this up for $11.99 as well. This is a cement mixer, Tonka truck. Got an offer for $6. We're at the point where I'm going to start. I need to get rid of my Christmas stuff, whatever I have. I do have a lot of ornaments. I didn't sell much ornaments this year. So next year I'll definitely do a little bit more. Unless they're like the higher end stuff, I did sell like a Megatron one for $10. Stuff that I think that just does better. So I will definitely be looking at that kind of stuff to resell next year at individuals. But if it's, I'm gonna say if it's like at that stretch of a $10 mark, I'll probably try to lot it with something else and sell it at 15 to give a good deal, and keep things going there. All right, so took a quick little break there. I went to kind of go play with the bidding a little bit because it was within 5 minutes, and it'll up the bid on the current unit, and I lost that first unit. I went up to $410 and someone outbid me, so I'm not going to mess around with it too much. The other auction that I am currently looking at is, all right, guys, so lost track a little bit of what I was doing here because the auctions are ending, so video went a little bit longer than I thought I was going to. Have a couple more things to go through, but wanted to kind of play around with it. So if I use storagetreasures.com. If you guys are ever interested in looking at place things to bid, storage units to bid on, you can kind of watch them, see them live. There is no really easy way to see like what a storage unit sold for, so you kind of have to like watch ones you might be interested in. But the first one I was really looking at definitely went for too much. But I put a last second bid in because if you're within the last 5 minutes and you put a bid, it will add 5 minutes. So I wanted to put a little bit of time on to see if I can win the other one. Didn't win that first one. I put 410 and they instantly outbid me again. So I'm not going to take that chance. If I knew a little bit more about the ring, there was also like an old like ship in there, some pretty cool stuff. I think the person will do well. I was guessing it probably has about $1,000 in value. But I'm not taking the risk on that one. There's another 5x10, which someone outbid me on, and it got up to $180 right now with 2 minutes left. So we'll see if I get that unit. I did a bid all the way up to $270 on that one. So hoping that I secure that one, and probably by the end of this video, I'll know if I have it. But kind of go back into that. So let's talk about the Hallmark ornaments. Definitely want to get a little bit more lotted up, try to find similar themes. So Tonka truck, maybe you can find some like kid things. Could even probably lot with that with some superhero stuff like that. So next thing I sold was this cast iron set. So 3 cast iron pans here. This came from a storage unit as well. I got a storage unit. So this had a 5-pack and a 3-pack. These aren't branded. There's nothing special. Sold these for $24.99 plus $10 shipping. The other ones, the 5-pack, came with a cast iron pot. I ended up selling those, I think, for like, I want to say $90 free shipping on that one. And that one went to Hawaii. So after shipping and everything, I made $10 on that one. And the person actually requested to set for a return. And the reason for the return was they just didn't like it. I didn't accept that return only for the sheer fact that the shipping was just so insane and I didn't charge shipping. So I'd have to pay the shipping back. I would have lost like $70. So for the most part, I try to accept returns. In that case, I didn't have returns on that item. Usually for the most part, I'll even accept it if I don't have returns, but that was one of those one-offs that I just couldn't do. This one went across country to Montana. So lost a healthy amount of shipping on that one, but still making an okay amount of money. I think it's like casino, essentially something they got free from the casino. So I don't think they're like anything crazy, but if you're getting 3 pieces of cast iron new for $25, you can't expect, I don't think, the world. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little nervous about that one. And if they want to ask for a return on that one, I'll probably just say keep it. With any luck, we won't have any issues. Sold this camera for $9.99 Vivitar. It's a little point and shoot. 440 PZ was the model number on that one. $9.99 plus the shipping. Came with like a little black case. It wasn't a matching case, different brand. But happy to move that one along. Then the second to last thing here was a Vineyard Vines women's shirt. Sold that for $11.39. So that one had an offer on it. Very random offer for $11.39, but I'm sure it somehow added up to a number they were looking for. Probably before tax and everything there. And the last thing I sold, this was actually someone that was I got these for $1 at a yard sale. I figured they would do a little bit better. I think if it was like a actual horseshoe, it would be, a little bit better. But I think they're for like the game horseshoes. Pretty sure because it's 1 and 2, and they came out all as a set, and one says rodeo, the other says Billard on it. So I'm pretty sure it's a set of 2 for the game of horseshoes, and it sold for $12.35. Someone was looking to pick it up Facebook Marketplace, which I was hoping to do just because of how expensive the shipping was going to be, and I didn't think it would ever sell. They ended up falling through, didn't work, but and we ended up selling on eBay, so happy to have that sale. And the last thing we got going on, got a little bit distracted, but we did win our storage unit. We'll see how this goes. I'll post some pictures on here. These pictures are terrible. They are not that great. Just going to take a look at it. You can see some boxes on the left side there. Looks like maybe a crib and a mattress on the right. For me, mattresses aren't that bad because I can, as long as they're clean. So far, my storage units, they've been clean enough, all but one. I can bring them to our local recycling center / dump. They take them for free as long as they're clean. If they're dirty, they charge you $80 a mattress. So this one doesn't look too bad. It is on the floor, which is a little concerning. Or side of it is, and it's not wrapped. Most of them, you know, if they're wrapped, it's kind of a no-brainer. This one's not wrapped, so we'll see. But the front is just loaded with stuff. You can see a lot of shoes in one of the totes, some kids stuff, bed, really small crutches, it looks like. We'll see. But excited to go in. Totes are good. I like seeing those black and yellow totes. Definitely help me when I'm making my purchase here. I feel a little bit more confident in buying that just because they're spending a little bit more money on better totes. Hopefully they have better stuff. It is also in a more affluent area in our area. So one of the towns that's kind of known for being, having a little bit more money and being a little bit more hoity-toity, I would say. So excited to go dig through that. I haven't bought a storage unit in a little while, or it's been probably about like 2 weeks since my last one, and that one was a little bit of a fiasco, but did get the 2 drones. It was only $70, so profit-wise, good. Volume-wise, not great. I'm looking for stuff to get onto my eBay because I am desperate for some inventory here. So follow along. Hopefully, I will be showing you guys some really cool stuff I get from this storage unit. I probably won't like film it as far as like digging through it, at least not there, but maybe in my garage, kind of show off what we get. But appreciate you guys for hanging in there, watching. If you can like, comment, subscribe, all that greatly helps me out. I'll catch you guys in the next one.